Hey there. So you're thinking about getting your dog fixed. Castrated, and want to make sure you know what you're getting into.
It's a big decision.
Yeah, it is. We actually, we listened to a podcast episode all about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was called Dog Castration, Everything You Need to Know. And, we learned a lot. And now we're going to try and share some of that info with you so you can make the best choice for you and your pup.
All right, sounds good.
So, what exactly is castration? What happens during the procedure?
Basically, it's surgery.
Okay.
Where the vet takes out the reproductive organs.
Oh, okay.
For male dogs, that's the testicles. And for females, it's the uterus and ovaries.
Gotcha. So, why would someone want to do that to their dog?
Well, there are a few reasons. One big one is to help control the dog population.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. And it can actually prevent unwanted litters.
Oh, yeah, because those surprise puppies can be a lot to handle.
Definitely. And there are some health benefits, too.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. What kind of health benefits?
Well, for males, it can lower their risk of prostate cancer.
Wow.
And for females, it really reduces the risk of mammary cancer.
Huh. So it could actually help them live longer, healthier lives.
Exactly. And of course, a lot of owners are interested in the behavioral side of things, too.
Yeah, I've heard it can help with aggression.
Right.
Or them running away.
Yeah. So it can sometimes help with those hormone-driven behaviors.
So if a dog is roaming around looking for a mate,
Exactly.
that urge might go away after they're castrated.
Yeah, it could. But it's not a guarantee.
Oh, right. So it's not like a magic solution.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you're saying each dog's different.
Exactly. Every dog's an individual, and you got to consider that.
Okay, good to know. So let's say someone's decided to go ahead with it. When's the best time to get a dog castrated?
Generally, you want to do it when they're between 6 and 12 months old.
Okay.
But it really depends on the dog's breed and size.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Well, bigger dogs tend to grow and mature more slowly. If you castrate them too early, it can mess with their growth plates, and they could have joint problems later on.
Oh, wow. So a Great Dane would be different from my little Chihuahua.
Exactly. Small breeds usually hit those milestones faster.
Gotcha. So it's important to talk to the vet about the best time.
Absolutely. Your vet can help figure out what's best for your dog.
Okay, cool. So let's say we've talked to the vet, decided on the timing, and the surgery's coming up.
Yeah.
What about getting ready for it? What should we do beforehand?
Your vet will lay it all out for you.
Okay.
But usually they'll want to run some blood tests first.
Makes sense. Safety first.
Yeah. It's just to make sure your dog's healthy enough for the surgery and anesthesia.
So we're looking at their liver and kidneys and stuff like that.
Exactly. Making sure everything's working like it should.
Okay, cool. What else is important?
Oh, you'll also need to make sure your dog doesn't eat for a while before the surgery.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. Why is that?
It's just a precaution to prevent complications during the anesthesia. It's usually around 8 to 12 hours, but your vet will tell you for sure.
Got it. No midnight snacks before surgery.
Exactly.
So we've covered the news before. Now, what about after the surgery? What's recovery like?
Well, the most important thing is rest.
Okay.
You got to give your dog a quiet place to recover and just chill out for a bit.
And I bet they'll have to wear one of those cones.
You got it. The Elizabethan collar. That's what it's really called.
The cone of shame.
Yeah, it might not be the prettiest.
No.
But it's super important to prevent them from licking or biting at their stitches.
Yeah, I can just picture my dog trying to get that cone off.
Oh, they all try.
What about feeding them after surgery? Anything special there?
You want to start slow. A few hours after surgery, give them a small, bland meal, and then gradually ease them back into their regular diet.
So nothing too exciting right away?
Nope. And make sure you keep an eye on the incision.
Okay.
Look for any swelling, redness, or discharge. That could be a sign of infection.
Good to know. Now, I've heard some people worry about their dog gaining weight after being castrated. Is that a real concern?
Well, their metabolism can slow down a bit.
Oh, okay.
But that doesn't mean they're doomed to get chubby.
So there are ways to manage it.
Exactly. You just might need to adjust their diet and make sure they get enough exercise.
So it's all about finding that new balance.
Yeah, pretty much. And here's another big one that people always ask about. Does castration change their personality?
Oh, yeah. Does it? Will my crazy, energetic pup suddenly become a couch potato?
No. It doesn't change their core personality.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Yeah, they'll still be their playful, loving selves.
Okay, but I've heard it can change some behaviors.
You're right, it can. Some behaviors are really tied to hormones.
Like what?
Well, you might see less marking, less roaming, even less aggression in some cases.
Oh, interesting. So it's not like they become a totally different dog.
No, not at all. It's more like some of their hormone-driven actions might change.
Okay, that makes sense. It seems like individual variation is a big thing here.
Yeah, it really is. Every dog's unique.
So talking to the vet is super important.
Absolutely. They know your dog and can give you the best advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've talked about what castration is, the best time to do it, what to do before and after, and we even busted some myths.
Yep, we covered a lot.
So what are the big takeaways here? What's the most important thing for people to understand?
Honestly, I think the biggest takeaway is that you should talk to your vet.
Yeah.
They're the experts.
Right.
There's no right or wrong answer when it comes to castration. It's about what's best for your dog and your lifestyle.
And your vet can help you figure that out.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. So it's not just about making a decision, it's about making an informed decision.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Well, I think we did a pretty good job busting those myths today.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like the one about castration changing a dog's personality.
Right, that's a big one.
Yeah, like people think their playful pup's going to turn into a couch potato.
It's just not true.
Yeah, their core personality stays the same.
Exactly.
Now, what about those cases where castration might not be the best choice? Like what factors would make someone decide against it?
That's a great question. It shows how important it is to think about each dog individually.
Right.
Castration is generally safe and has a lot of benefits, but there are some situations where it might not be the right call.
Like what kind of situation?
Well, for example, if a dog already has some health problems,
Okay.
that might make anesthesia or surgery more risky.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So in those cases, the risks might be bigger than the benefits.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all thing.
Definitely not. And of course, some people might want to breed their dogs.
Right. Especially if they have a dog with like special traits they want to pass on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But breeding's a whole other topic.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's a big responsibility.
It is. You got to be ready to take care of a whole litter of puppies.
Yeah, and make sure you're doing it ethically.
Absolutely. Responsible breeding is super important.
Okay, so it sounds like the decision to castrate or not comes down to thinking about the pros and cons for your specific dog
Exactly.
and talking to your vet to get their expert opinion.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, I feel like we've covered so much today.
We have.
We talked about what castration is, when to do it, how to prepare for it, what recovery's like.
And we busted some myths along the way.
Yes, we did. And most importantly, we talked about how important it is to have that conversation with your vet.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So to all our listeners out there, if you're thinking about castration, talk to your vet.
They can help you figure out what's best for your furry friend.
Absolutely. And remember, every dog is different, so what's right for one might not be right for another.
That's so true.
Oh. Okay, well, I think that about wraps it up for today's deep dive on dog castration.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming. This was a great conversation.
It was.
So to all our listeners out there, thanks for tuning in.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, it's been great chatting about this stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like we've really busted some myths today.
Yeah, definitely. Like that thing about castration changing a dog's personality.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
It's huge. People think their pup's going to turn into a totally different dog.
Right. Like they're going to lose all their energy and just want to sleep all day.
Exactly. But it's just not true.
Yeah, it's more about specific hormone-driven behaviors changing.
Right, exactly.
So their core personality, the things that make them unique, those stay the same.
Exactly. It's just some of those really strong urges might chill out a bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly.
So, we've talked a lot about the potential benefits of castration.
We have.
But I think it's also important to remember that it's not always the right choice for every dog.
Oh, absolutely.
There are definitely situations where it might not be the best option.
Yeah, for sure. Like we talked about before, if a dog has some health problems,
Right.
castration might be too risky.
Yeah, and some people might want to breed their dogs.
Exactly. Like if they have a show dog with, those champion bloodlines.
Right. Or just a dog with really special traits they want to pass on.
Yeah. It's a personal choice, for sure.
It is.
Yeah.
And like we said before, breeding comes with a whole other set of responsibilities.
Absolutely.
So it's not something to take lightly.
Nope, not at all. So yeah, I think the bottom line is if you're thinking about getting your dog fixed.
Or, castrated.
Yeah, castrated. You really got to talk to your vet.
They can help you weigh the pros and cons.
Exactly. And figure out what's best for your furry friend.
For sure. Well, I think that just about wraps things up for us today.
Yeah, I think so too.
Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive into dog castration.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been awesome chatting with you. So to all our listeners out there, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
See ya.